Hey guys, it's Teddy J. Welcome back to Model Talk. Today's episode is sponsored by the Berman Law Group, and we're shooting here at TBT Studios.
So hey guys, it's your girl Yazzie.
And it's your boy Big Neil.
I'm Nikki Says You Only Live Once.
I'm your girl CJ Jazz.
And joining us today on the Model Couch, we have
Jalea Arshel Simpson.
And our featured guest of today is Jasmine Nichole.
Hey.
Thank you, guys.
Welcome.
Thank you. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Risings.
Grand
All
Risings.
right.
So Jasmine, I know you're a model, you're creative. How did you get into that field?
I kind of just started coloring, drawing when I was about 3 years old. I always wanted to be in fashion, be a designer. Around 1920, when it was time to go to college, I realized I don't want to be a designer anymore because they make no money. So I just started going into art and having my first art show, stomping around like Harlem, and kind of just wanted to express. You know, I was all about expression. And from then on, just the art just flowed.
So when you say art, are you painting?
Everything.
What are you doing?
I'm a visual artist. So painting, right now I'm like completely digital, designing, like making clothes, cut and sew, like creative direction.
Oh,
yeah,
you did?
so, yeah.
So you still design, but you're not pursuing to make money off of it. You're more so.
Yeah, I mean, when people put in an order, I'll do it.
Oh, yeah?
I'm more of like an actual artist where money's cool, and of course I want it, and I would love to live off my craft, but I create because I enjoy it. It's my life. It's all I know how to do. So whether people are buying or not, I'm going to create.
Yeah.
So I noticed you mentioned Harlem. Where are you from?
I'm born and raised in Queens.
Hey.
So
when did you move down to South Florida? Because I don't hear like a New York twang. You sound like really
that's
Floridian.
crazy because a lot of people are always like, you sound like a mob boss, and I'm like,
really?
People when they talk about New York, they always expect
I heard it.
They always expect like a Harlem or a Brooklyn accent, and they forget that Queens and Long Island and the surrounding boroughs have their own, accents too. So, but yeah, I moved down 2016. I was working at an Irish pub with some friends got my heart broken. I know. And for the first time in my life, and she got her heart broken by her partner, and we were like, yo, fuck New York, let's go. And I was trying to move. Yeah, I was like, I'm trying to move to Florida. She's like, you are, so am I. And she's like, you got a roommate? And I was like, no. She's like, you got a roommate? I was like, no. Mind you, I'd never been to Miami. Never been to Miami. The first day of Miami is when we drove down and found our apartment.
Oh, wow.
So I know you've been in some music videos, right? Let's talk about that experience.
So my first music video experience was Rihanna's Wild Thoughts. I was getting off of work, and my friend was like, yo, pull up right now, just look like crazy good, all that stuff, pull up with your art. I pulled up, and it was just the set of Wild Thoughts.
Oh, wow.
And Bryce, I think something Tilley, his last name is Tilley, he was the director. Not Bryson Tiller, the director of the video shoot, pulled me aside and was like, hey, we just want to get some shots of you, you know. And next thing I know, a few weeks later, I wake up and I'm in the music video with a cameo.
That is dope. Did they pay you for that?
They did. Yes, we got paid for that. Yeah.
Well, did you give your friend a percentage? Because she was there.
She got paid too.
Okay. All right, good.
It was a collective type of situation. Yeah, it was good.
What a way to start out in the industry.
That's a good first start.
Really?
So moving to Miami, is that when you started doing your pole dancing, or how did that come about?
I'm not a pole dancer, but
you dance
I have in my apartment.
It's look, error on the script. Yeah.
Why is that there?
Is pole dancing in your future with your art pieces?
No, I mean I would love to, but like I don't even work out. I'm not strong at all.
So do you have a clientele? Like, is this full time for you? Like, how do you generate revenue? Is this like your full time?
So, like when people call me, hit me up, I mean, I'm a public figure, so people hit me up through Instagram, hey, we would love to have you, this is what we want to do. So that's kind of like my business. Right. But as a New Yorker, like, I've always had a job. Right. Working is like, that pays the bills, and then my art funds my life and everything else that I want to do and gives me that passion, you know? Right. So I don't have burnout because I'm always looking to create, you know? I was freelancing 2021, and while it was fun, again, I'm a New Yorker, we need to...
like,
man, so I was like, I got to get back in the work field.
Right. So question, you said you made your outfit. Can you stand up for the model camera so we can see this outfit?
So the pants are not mine, but I'm a huge supporter of like cultural businesses and mom and pop shops.
Mm-hmm.
So
I love these colors.
Yeah, their pants is
Your shoe
from India.
I love it. I just love
And
her
then the
style.
corsets I make.
Yes.
Nice.
Stunning.
So when you go out in the streets and people see you, like, what do they say?
So
like,
I was in Starbucks and this little girl came up to me. She's like, "You're a princess." And then they gave me free coffee. They were like, "You're a goddess." And I was like, "Thanks."
You look like one, that's for sure.
I love that for
And
you.
I actually remember meeting you a few months back at the Creators Content event.
That's what I told them. I was like, "Oh, I met her at prominent status."
And so how have you been since then? Because I remember even that outfit, you had made some of the pieces yourself, and I was obsessed with it. When I seen you, I was like, I need to talk to her. You looked stunning.
Thank you.
And how has that been since then? You know, what have you really been working on? What's in the future for you?
So right now I'm working on a collection of pretty much I had a huge reset of life. I'd say 2022 April. And right now I'm just expressing myself and trying to have this like rebirth. So right now I'm just very focused on kind of cultivating what my next 10 years of my life are gonna look like.
Right.
So I moved up to Boca. I'm really remote right now. I've completely cut off a lot of things that I was on and with, and I'm just restarting. So it's kind of like my down period because once I start up again, I'm kind of going,
Wow.
I love that for you. I really do.
So now we're gonna try something different today, y'all. All right, so we're going to play Bad Choices.
And Bad Choices, you can find it on Amazon. It's a card game that you can play at parties or whatever, so it has different questions and different topics and stuff like that.
oh gosh.
Okay, pass
who's
it down.
going first?
We need another one.
You getting the extra?
Okay, so I guess I'll go first. I mean, can I plead the fifth if I don't want to answer what's on the? Let me just read the card. Have you ever had a partner that was too kinky for you?
Wait, before we continue, if we done it, are we drinking, not drinking? Like, what's the rules? What's the?
However y'all want it to be, I don't know.
So who
I'm
you asking
cool with
the question
drinking
to
if
her,
it
or you asking
applies.
the question to yourself?
And we have to answer it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we drink if we had a partner that was too
Never
kinky.
have I ever. If you've done it, you have to take a
Yeah.
shot or a drink. So that's why I was asking.
We could just drink just to drink anyway.
I'm crying. Okay, I'm sorry.
All right. Have you ever had a partner that was too kinky for you? No.
So everybody was just
I'm
right.
gonna leave it
Just
at
right.
that.
Just
Hey, so how we doing this? We going around this way?
yeah,
or
go
that? Have you ever had sex with someone within an hour of meeting them? No,
hour?
ain't
An
never.
hour is crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is wild.
Actually, I mean,
It can happen, but it
I
ain't
guess
never
if the
happened.
vibes is there,
It could happen.
like if you spoke, maybe if you spoke before on the phone,
Nah, I said
Not
within
a
an hour of
meeting.
meeting them.
like
that
just
means,
first meeting.
that means you just
Like,
met
hi,
them. You
listen
don't
in.
know this
That
person.
means y'all was already
Like,
both
hi,
horny as fuck,
49
and y'all literally
minutes
was just
later.
You went
making
outside with a
fuck.
mission. That was intentional.
Yeah.
59 minutes
Facts.
later,
That's not a
y'all
oops.
doing it.
All right, let's see. If you were broke and desperate, would you become a prostitute?
Oh, that pussy sells.
But ain't everybody prostitute.
I don't shame if you do, but I don't think I could.
Man, define
She said,
prostitute.
think. All right, hey.
Hey, sometimes you gotta
Define
do what you
prostitute.
Gotta do what you gotta
Come
do.
on, define it. Really?
You could be a streetwalker, or you could just be like, "Hey man, I got $40.
No.
Something strange."
Wait, what's
for
the
a small
difference
piece of
between a
change."
streetwalker and what you're talking
That's what I'm
about?
saying. That's why I say define
Just
it.
the location.
They call
I mean, the
prostitute
class of
street
it,
walk.
really.
Prostitution means you exchanging sex for money.
Yeah, sex work.
Yeah.
Sex
Yeah.
work.
That's what it is. So what you mean? What you mean define it? You just said it.
It's a lot of exchanging of sex for money.
What? Okay.
Would you do it? Would you do it? If you were broke and desperate, would you do it?
For free.
I'm weak.
I mean,
I'm a free prostitute.
just to hit on that, I just
You're a freak. You're
you
not a
wanna break it
prostitute, then
down-
you just a hoe.
No, man.
A person that do sex for free, like constantly,
Sex
like
for
a
free.
prostitute would, like, you know,
you
constantly
saying constantly.
different.
And there's no
process-
exchange?
different partners, no exchange. You just doing it for the fun of it, like
Yeah,
the
just
wee.
because you just love it.
You a
Yeah.
hoe.
That's because you saying
But I
prostitute.
feel like today
I'm just saying I do sex for free. That's all I'm saying. Go
You
ahead.
a hoe.
I think
He's an
sex should be free.
F-boy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
in
You not a
some way
hoe.
or another, it's still kind of
Sex work?
exchange a little bit. Like
Yeah, that's what I'm basically
I think in
saying.
regular relationships, it's done a little bit more professionally.
Yeah.
I'm crying.
If you want to use that
Well, it's
word
not
professional.
transactional. It's
It-
not transactional.
Most women say, I
Yes
want that
or
guy
no?
to take me out on
Yeah.
That's not the question, Teddy. You're getting too deep into it. You're getting too deep into it. Yeah, you're getting too deep into it. If the question is if you were
That's a
broken, desperate,
standard.
would you be a prostitute?
Let's go to the next question.
Julia.
I was getting deep into it.
Next
Okay,
question.
I'm gonna just move on.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
so
I'm crying.
is it okay to cheat on your partner if they gain 100 pounds?
Oh, wow.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
think there's
Why
ever.
are you so quick to say yes?
Ah, what you said? Yes.
You said
If they were
yes?
forewarned.
That's her
Are you
question.
surprised that he
Can
said
you answer
yes?
her question?
Wait, but that's
Sorry,
so
sorry.
bad. though.
You can answer. You can answer.
It is
He
bad.
was so quick. I'd personally say no because it could be muscle. Guys are different. I feel like for a
100
woman
pounds.
gaining
100
100
It could be muscle.
Some of it,
100 pounds of muscle.
maybe like
Muscle is-
maybe like half of it. I mean, if he's like a skinny dude, yeah, it could be like muscle or fat.
a lot of
100 pounds
muscle.
of
Well, not
you have
muscle, but
just
like muscle
turned
and
into an
fat.
ape.
You know, I feel like it looks different on guys rather than girls.
Maybe in her mind, 100 pounds is not what 100 pounds is to y'all.
muscle?
Muscle
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
not,
you
it's
are-
not
I
as
think
bad
maybe
as
you
women.
fat.
A little fat
It's giving
on a guy is fine.
Wolverine.
But
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever okay to cheat. I just think just tell them I think you're unattractive and I want to move on.
Yeah.
There you
I
go.
agree.
Oh my God, what happened to the sapio
no-
part of it?
Not everybody.
You gotta be
sapio.
honest
Oh my
about it, though.
God.
Well, you have to
Yeah.
feel me in all things, not just the mind. I mean,
Yeah.
the mind's important, but if I am
Yeah.
physically not attracted to you,
What
that's
a
a
great
major
segue
part.
into my question.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
go ahead.
Because I have, would you rather be with someone smart or someone gorgeous? And someone smart for sure. I feel like all my exes aren't that attractive, but they are intelligent and brilliant. So
I need both.
So you like
Yeah.
having,
Hella sapio.
you like having
I'm a
sex with
sapio and a
intellect.
demi. Like I need emotions and brains.
What's a demi?
I just need both.
I gotta be
I
emotionally
can't.
connected to you to like
That's what
physically
I didn't know
involve
there was
myself.
a whole word for that.
Oh, there's a lot of
Sapio.
everything. Yeah, it goes down a rabbit
I
hole.
wonder how many things I am.
So the thing about emotional connection, like that's just something you just feel.
Yeah,
So-
it's something that we could relate to each other. Like
No,
there's
I'm just saying, I'm
emotions
trying to-
in there, like a chemistry, an attraction, like
and
something
you never know
has to
what
be
it
there.
is that make you feel it. So it's
I
like
have feelings for you. Like I have to have feelings for you.
Yeah, but
you know,
it-
I can't
but-
just meet you and be like, "Oh, you're fine." And no,
It's energy.
empty.
Yeah,
It has
it's
to be
energy, and I'm-
synchronized.
Yeah,
It has to
want
be a
get more depth
synergy.
with it. Like I
Yes.
just want a little more explanation. 'Cause
Yeah.
I just like stuff like that.
And then sapio is
The mind.
Great.
You're attracted
yeah.
to the mind, the intelligence. It's a turn on.
Yeah.
Okay. Birthday girl.
I'm crying the way you just looked at me. Okay, it's your turn. Go now. Okay. Have you ever created a fake social media account to spy on someone? I personally haven't, but I have friends who've done this.
Same.
I've watched them do it, and I'm
Crazy
just like,
friend.
y'all got a lot of time.
I think a lot of
Y'all got a lot of
That's 'cause you're a
time.
Virgo. You're like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I'm a
know,
Virgo.
right?
Like, I ain't got time for all
got
that.
time
Because
for this.
you'll block someone and they still know what's going on. Like
Yeah, you can still
Eyes
make
everywhere.
different profile.
Use their homegirl account.
Yeah, use their homegirl account or their son, their kids account.
Yeah, you can still
Let
find
me
it.
look.
Yeah.
Just don't like anything.
Yeah.
Using your kid's account is wild, though.
No, actually,
Like, that's-
it's never that serious.
It's never that serious.
Who do you think would be the best stripper in the room?
Oh wow.
That's not the
Oh,
question. Is it really
goddamn.
the question?
Let me- is that a question?
You're a liar.
Let me see.
You're a liar. You're liars. Let me see it.
That's not the question.
I couldn't even see it.
Let me.
That's why he was studying, because he wanted to make
Oh,
up
it's,
his own
okay. That's the question.
That's the question.
That's the question.
Okay.
Well, I hope you weren't gonna pick me. You looking at me like you gonna
I
pick
did not look at Neil last. I'm looking right here. I looked at
Well,
Hey, don't look at me.
who do I think?
I'm crying.
I'll be a good stripper.
I think the guest of the day probably would be the best stripper in the room.
Oh, Jolie.
With all that exotic stuff, I'm sure you guys.
She said she had a poll already.
Me?
or her.
Well, she did, yes.
My name. I was like,
Oh, I
what?
thought you meant the guest host, not
No, I
the
meant-
featured guest.
My
I thought you
bad.
meant you didn't say featured
No.
guest.
He on the special chair.
Well, she's
Yeah.
she's the guest, but
That's
she's a
funny.
featured guest.
I think it would be Jasmine,
All right, whatever.
Nicole.
Wow.
Okay.
I had a poll.
Yeah,
but
she said she had a
Yeah,
poll.
you had a poll earlier.
I did.
Hey,
Have you ever
Have I ever stripped?
Have you ever
have you ever
twirled?
stripped before?
For exes, yes, but never publicly.
Okay.
Of course, I've stripped, but not like professionally or nah.
Okay, so I was close.
Cute.
I'm right, probably. All y'all probably strip for exes.
everybody probably strip
Yeah,
for
everybody
a
probably
head.
strip for a boyfriend.
Exactly.
Stripping is taking off your clothes and moving around, right? Damn.
Yep. To music
To me.
in a vibe.
That's different, you know?
I don't want to
But-
picture
Like
that.
stripping,
Publicly?
dancing, strip?
Yeah.
Like an-
Not really.
Not
Damn.
really.
Not even for fun.
For fun?
Kind of, but not saying
She was
I
never like, take it off.
He was like, all right,
like
baby.
a cheap
Right?
show.
A cheap show.
Chippendale.
Yeah.
What them is? The elephant G-string you had them on?
Oh, the banana boat.
How you
It's
know?
called the banana boat.
No.
How you know he had an elephant G-string?
I got one.
You got one?
I'm just playing.
So guys,
Nah.
definitely check out Bad Choices. We just did an example of it, so go ahead and check it out if you guys want the full game on Amazon.
So moving on to today's Model Talk news. I'm excited for this one. YouTube demonetized and bans Fresh and Fit podcast. The hosts of Fresh and Fit podcast, Myron Gaines and Walter Weeks, announced to their listeners that YouTube demonetized and banned their channel from its YouTube partner program. Even the location where the distasteful duo shot their content wants them out of the building. Walter and Myron have spewed anti-black women rhetoric, alleged hate speech, misogynistic conversational statements. Walter once said, and I quote, "I don't really date black girls. Most black girls are annoying. How do I put this? Ratchet, and they don't know how to be reserved." Actress Erica Alexander posted, "Don't cry for me, Argentina. I think Fox and Friends will pick them up." The sad part is that they'll use it as an excuse to become more radicalized, toxic. And I believe that they find a path towards life of good and redemption. This could be a life raft because it's not about a show or money. It's about your life, dignity, decency, and legacy. It's about what you stand for. Hashtag stand up, bon voyage, gentlemen. We would also like to send our condolences for the end of Fresh and Fit, Reign of Terror. Sorrows, prayers.
So what? The ladies mad because they got demonetized?
I had
Y'all
some
mad
friends
about
on
it?
there. It's a really
I
funny
ain't mad at
show.
this happening.
No,
I'm
because of
glad
their
it's
That's what I'm
really
saying.
bad.
I mean, glad.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
their
mad.
audience is definitely mad, but I mean, they're a bunch of incels, so they can stay mad
So
as
let
they
us know
do.
what your friend said about it. You said
Yeah, so I had a few friends on there, and they are just extremely disrespectful.
They
If you
are.
go against anything that he says, he just attacks you. Like,
But that was
Nasty.
the show, though. That's what made the
it's
show.
one thing
actually.
to create banter and to kind of create a little fluff around shit.
Yeah.
It's another to completely be disrespecting
Disrespectful.
Absolutely.
people. Like derogatory, just nasty.
they kick them
Yeah.
out right there.
And I've been on
And
the
right
show
there,
before,
like kicked
too.
her
They-
out
yeah.
right there and just goading people into
But that's
just.
what made their show successful.
I
all
get
that-
it. Like again,
all them
you know,
antics.
but there's a line of disrespect that I just feel like you should not be crossing. For someone to say I don't date black women because they ratchet and
Yeah,
just
yeah.
whatever, like he treats people like that.
Yeah.
If he feels you're disgusting, he's gonna treat you disgusting.
CJ, you been on that show, right?
I've personally been on a couple of episodes myself, and my experience was they're not necessarily who they portray to be on camera
Yeah.
because they're
Absolutely.
completely
Sure.
different off camera.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Many of those conversations, it's crazy. I used to get a lot of DMs, and the guys just be like, "You should do children's shows," because a lot of the times you just see me on the show cheesy, because that's my defense mechanism. Because the things they would say, I'm like,
It was for shock
I
value.
feel attacked because literally
Yeah.
they're attacking me.
Yeah.
I am the dark skinned person,
the
the
room,
older
yeah.
female, the milk that you're talking about, going against everything. And I'm just like, oh, but I'm just here to be pretty.
Yeah.
You know, let me just smile and be cute and not mess up my brand. But I got to the point I had to stop going because I just feel like I was disrespecting myself for supporting,
Yeah.
you know, such a brand and everything. But then it gets crazy because you get off the show and you personally talk to them and you be like, well, you said this on the show, and you tell them about your personal experience about something. They be like, oh, but you're like one of the few percentage, you know, da. I'm so sorry you went through that. And
Again, that was their antics to
Yeah.
make the
so
show.
it's just like, it just sucked that they could have played around with it, but they didn't have to go as hard.
wow,
they
they
take
made
it
money.
far.
Feel
They take it
Super.
really far.
But
And
it made
it's
money.
crazy too because it's like I get, you know, there's always a shock factor, you know, and that's what brings in the audience. And I get that, you know, marketing wise, but like you said, there's level of disrespect and then there's level of shock factor. And like again, like I've been on the show too, and like you said, the way they act on camera and off camera is completely different. Like they will treat you like gentlemen when you're off camera, but as soon as it's on, the way they degrade and berate you and like they just gang up on you, and even some of the women will be on the panel and like they'll purposely feed into their bullshit, and it's like, girl, like
So why y'all?
it's just like a women, like I didn't know what show it was when I went on it, so that
That's what I
most
was
don't,
gonna ask.
because here's
That's
the
what
thing,
I was
and
gonna ask.
what I found out afterwards and what they try to do is like they recruit people to get you on the show without telling you it's that
Yep,
show.
exactly.
You know, it's
Most
it's like,
don't know they're
it's
gonna
like
be
you're
on it.
gonna, you know, you're gonna get a good exposure from it, this and the third. And like even after I went on the show, I was getting death threats from
Yep.
like their audience members. Like people were saying they want to do this and the third to me, like my DMs and like my like I had to block so many accounts from them because it was so bad. Like it's insane.
Yeah.
And moving on in Model Talk News, If you missed out on any summer movies or want to watch your new favorite movie, this weekend you're in luck. It's National Cinema Day this Sunday. It's only $4. Everybody who tight on the budget, man, this Sunday it's time to hit the movie theaters. We got some new movies out. Go check it out. Bring all the children. It's only $4 a pop, man. You still got to pay for that popcorn or sneak some in. The popcorn $4 too? Okay, the popcorn
So you gonna end up spending $100.
Catch me at the
So
theaters.
this is the weekend. Grab all your grandchildren, children, cousins, aunties, mamas, and hit the movies this weekend.
Plug. Moving on to the topic of today. Love is the only acceptable form of mental illness. Love is, for the sake of argument, a form of mental illness and probably the only one that society accepts without stigma attached to it. You're judged for being mad as the insane form of madness, but you're not judged for being madly in love. According to Fisher, evidence of romance love has been found in 170 societies. Each love and how societies express it are different in their own way, but it's still a love of romantic nature and one that starts with infatuation and ends with attachment. The actual falling in love stage of a relationship is similar to being high on cocaine. It's also not really a choice. We're all at the mercy of the chemicals in our little brain. You can fight it, of course, as one might with any mental illness, but unlike things like depression or anxiety, you can't take a pill to just cure it or even make it an easier situation to be in. So how do you guys feel about love being the only acceptable form of mental illness?
I believe
It's
it
not
is.
an illness.
It's not an illness.
How's it an
That's
illness?
poor word
I'm
choice.
confused.
If you look at all the craziness that's going on in the world, or when people lose it, or when people kill each other, and people, 90% of it is in the passion, or it has to do with love.
That's
What
a different
people-
word you're using
Yeah.
But
there.
what people believe is in the name of love. When you're in love, notice, when you're in love, you'll do anything that you regularly wouldn't do. You'll walk miles, or you'll drive maybe days to see someone, or you'll fight someone, or I think it takes you to another level. And like they say, when you're out of love or someone breaks your heart, you want to call it, those people go through like the most depression, the same way as if you take a drug from them, I believe. What do you
So,
guys-
but you got to look at
Withdrawal.
it. You're using different words. So you're saying passion. Love is pure. So if you're acting out, then that's no longer love. That's something else. That's anger. That's infatuation. That's lack of maturity. It's a lack of intelligence.
Obsession.
That's not love.
But they talking about
But
that
it also
love
tends
that-
to ask the
the
question,
addictive
what is love?
Yeah.
Love is such a pure feeling that it can't be a mental illness because it's a pure, natural, positive
But you talking
feeling.
about the biblical
Everything
love.
else attached to it is something that
Well, define
completely
purity and
a
love.
pure love. When a baby sees its mom for the first time and a mother sees her baby.
Well, that's a different love.
That's
No,
love.
that's
different love, though.
That's
That's-
still
that's a
love.
form of
Now,
love, but it's a
everything else that
different
you're
love.
attaching to
It's a
that
different
word
love.
is the mental illness.
The
The
dopamine love?
infatuation.
Yeah.
That's different.
Infatuation
Love
is
is
not
not
the
a
thing
mental
that makes you-
illness.
It's
Yeah.
that first, like,
Genuine, pure feeling is love.
right.
Now you got to go into agape. You got to
Yeah,
go
agape love
into
is the love you talking about.
philia. Like there's different mania.
I think we're talking about love.
Filial
we're
love
talking
is the
about
love that
relationship
you
love
talking
right here.
about,
We're talking
yeah.
about
The
relationship
romantic love.
But
Romantic love.
that's the
But
same
that-
thing. There's different stages of love when you're in a
Yes.
relationship.
Yeah.
Just even in a friendship, there's different stages of love. You
It
know,
is.
and
Any
even
type
in a
of
business
relationship.
relationship. Yeah, any relationship, there's
We're
different
talking
stages.
about okay.
Talking about the love that create that
We're
dopamine
talking-
feeling.
exactly. We're
That's
talking
romantic
about
love.
what
Yeah,
you're
but you still
walking
got to get through
Eros
agape
love.
you got
love
to
in
go
order
right
get
to
through
the
that.
source and the root of what it
Agape
is.
love not gonna make you kill
The
nobody.
mental illness is
But
not
that
the
love
love.
isn't gonna make you kill somebody in the
No,
first
Even
place.
the word illness and love should not be in the
Ever.
same.
It's
Absolutely.
not. That's like the worst oxymoron and contradiction
Yeah.
ever.
It is, but when
It
you
doesn't
get,
work.
When
you
someone
get
is
deep
in
into the
love
description-
in a relationship, we're talking about relationship love now, romance.
yeah, that is different.
Why is it when we're in love, do we not feel a sense of possession?
Yeah, and that
Depends, not every
What
time.
kind of
type of
possession?
love.
It's not love.
Terms
It's not
of-
possessive.
There's not
It's not.
possessive.
But you talking about a different type of
Yeah,
love.
but some relationships, when a guy is out, oh, where you at, or they feel possessive. Why were you talking to her?
But that's insecurity.
That's insecurity.
That's not
jealousy.
love.
That's not love.
So love
we talking
in
about
relationships brings about other
bring out
feelings,
your
other
insecurities
things in it.
and
You
all
know what
that.
I mean?
No, your mental illnesses can bring out different
Yeah,
parts
that
and
different
different
type of
definitions,
love
but
does.
that's not love.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
what is
it's
love?
not-
What is love in a relationship? Explain
Love
to
in a
me.
relationship is space. It's respect and it's patience. It's understanding. It's awareness. Everything else that you're attaching to that infatuation, that possession, that is something completely different. That's the insecurity that's bringing in that mental illness.
Yeah, that's that out of control.
That is not love.
No, but that's within yourself, though. That's not from the love.
That's not the
personal
purity.
issues
That's
you have
it is
within
within
yourself.
yourself.
That's
But
not the natural part.
That's not.
What CJ Jazz read and what she was saying that it's a mental illness because you don't think straight when you're in that first dopamine flooded. You're not thinking straight.
That's infatuation.
Most people not thinking straight.
That's infatuation.
But that ain't
Right.
what the description was saying.
Love is
basically. That's what I'm
organic.
saying.
Everything else
Yeah.
you're saying is MSG.
It's a good feeling.
We know it's good to be in love and
It's-
to love.
If you feel
the natural,
good, it's a
proper
good
way.
feeling.
Yeah, it
Yes.
It's that pure feelings. It's the one that you don't have to explain. It's organic. So
Right.
naturally, that everything
Right.
else is
The
built
love
on top
you
of
feel
it.
when if you believe
It's
in
built on
a
top.
higher power and you know that you're covered by the higher power. That's the love you talking about. But the love we talking about.
No,
well,
I'm
y'all
talking
not
about the same
talking
love.
about
the
love,
love that
though.
she read about. That's
I'm
what
still
I'm
I'm
saying.
talking
But
about
this
this.
isn't
I heard
even
what she
love,
said.
though. Like
Yeah.
this isn't.
So you never
y'all
felt jealous
just
of
y'all be
Of
using
course.
words in the wrong
Okay,
way.
that's what I'm saying.
But that's
the
not love.
problem.
The mental
Jalen,
illness threw
what do
me
you
off.
feel?
I was listening to everything and I feel like I understand both sides.
Right.
So what you're talking about is more of like pure love, you know, how it should be.
How it
But
should
you
be.
were also giving synonyms or like adjectives as well. You said patience and, you know, whatever. I feel like that's like the good side of it. But then also with everything, there's, you know,
The
the
other side.
bad side. There's a balance to everything. So I feel like although, you know, possession and obsession or whatever, all those things, like sometimes that does come from that same love, unfortunately.
love.
Just not even because of people's insecurities or whatnot, but everyone has different lives, different stories. So certain things might bring something out of them that might come off a certain way to you, or it might even seem like obsession to them. It might seem like something else.
Yeah.
So I feel like it just depends on all those different factors.
But when I get to the part of saying it's organic, it's that natural feeling that's there.
Yeah.
What about that?
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's right.
Right
It's
and
definitely,
wrong.
I feel like with feelings, obviously
Right
we
on.
are our own people, so we all feel different things. So I just, basing anything off of feelings, I feel like is very,
Dangerous.
yes,
dangerous.
dangerous,
It's
because I
Would you
feel like
count
that's,
love
and
as
that's
mental
where,
illness?
Yes.
no, I don't
That's
think,
what the question is, though.
I believe
so
it's
no, I
mental
don't
illness.
count it as mental illness.
It's not an illness.
Yeah,
I
it's not.
think it can be. It
It's a
can be.
mental illness.
But no, I think about
But
it.
if it heals, how does it?
But no,
how's it an
Jasmine,
illness?
think about it. You said love is organic. Think about it, organic food and fruits. They still go bad.
Yeah.
Just because they're organic and they're good for you and it's better for you to eat it like that
And it's right.
doesn't mean it's going to be good for you for a long period
Yeah,
of
and then
time.
we grow as
so
people
you
as
gotta
well,
think
we
about it.
change.
Love, of course, anything good, like she
be
said, got
bad.
a bad side. So, you know, just because we want to stay focused on all the true positive sides of love, you do got to think about how love does fuel the negative side.
It does.
You get what I'm saying? Because sometimes, like you said, even though you said these are adjectives and descriptions and other words, love does fuel passion.
But does love not
Love
heal?
does
It does.
fuel
It does.
all the
So
stuff.
we're still people. We're
love
not
heals.
perfect. That's the thing. Like
I
even though
I understand exactly what you're saying, but what I'm referring to is if you're saying mental health, love is a mental health, then that means it can't heal. If it's a mental illness, that means it can't heal. That means it's breaking
Yeah,
down.
it did, so you can't
then
take a
how
pill.
does
I don't
how
think it's
do
a mental
you-
illness.
How do you heal something that's an illness? Like you can't take something that's two things
They go
and
away when
use
they
it
go
to
away.
You change your diet.
It goes away.
Mental
what
illness.
then?
I feel the way you heal a mental illness is you change your mental,
mindset.
you know, your
Yeah.
mindset, because they refer to it being also like you're on drugs.
Right.
So
Once
it's an
you come off
addiction.
of it, the
if you can
withdrawals,
get someone
once
to
you get
like
past the withdrawal
come from
stage.
you know get off the drugs and rehabilitate,
Yeah.
But it's a healthy high. Love is
It
a
can
healthy
be.
high.
can
It
be.
depends on the
It can
person,
be.
though. That's the thing. Because like, if you're someone with an addictive personality, of course you're gonna have more addictive traits when it comes to that. And especially,
Yeah.
love does heighten your emotions. So, like for example, if you are someone that's already insecure, someone who's very territorial, it's definitely going to emphasize that. But that's a personal characteristic. That's how you are, because not everyone is like that. Like there's a lot of people that are in relationships, really healthy relationships, and it's like, yeah, do your thing, you know, just let me know. It's not, oh, calling you every 5 seconds, you know, this and that. Like a lot of people have trauma from previous relationships, and that's what brings it up, because that's unhealed.
Yeah. That's
Now
learned
that
behavior,
would
though.
be the mental illness. It is, but then it's your responsibility to unlearn it.
True.
And to, you know,
That's how you
grow
fix it.
in a new way. But to say that love is a mental illness, it's not.
Yeah,
If you
it's-
like, it does it have effects? Absolutely. And heartbreak hurts. That, you know, it
But
can
then you
break
use self-love to heal.
Exactly.
So-
but then that part, there are the two parts of it, because not everything has an expiration date. That's just the reality of it. Everything does.
Facts.
And when you look at it from a more logical perspective, you understand, and if you're able to value what you have in the moment and appreciate what you have versus thinking, I have possession over this person. Like, once we're done, like we're done with everything. Like this and that. Like, if I can't have you, no one can.
Can I ask a
That's
question?
a mental illness.
Can I ask a question?
Because that's obsession. That's
jealousy.
possession. Like that's
no longer love.
You're not viewing the person as your equal anymore. You're viewing them as an object for you to obtain. And by that point, that's where things get muddy. And I think that's where y'all's definition is coming in, from being on the receiving end of that.
Can I ask a question to the room
Yeah.
right quick? Is anybody in here right now actively in love?
With myself.
Agreed.
I'm in love.
That won't have an
my wife.
expiration
So you
date,
married.
but, you know.
Exactly. I'm in
So,
love.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
But look,
yeah.
did you think about this though? I was thinking they're saying they want to say love is a mental illness. I wouldn't necessarily say love is a mental illness, but what I would say is love can generate you to have a mental illness.
It can.
Love can drive you to go crazy. Love can drive you to do those crazy things to put you in the crazy house. Love can be that one thing that makes that person break and bring out a different side of them they never knew was inside of them. So you also have to think about that. I do watch a lot of Lifetime movies, but still I see it in real life. I be telling you, girl, you a Lifetime movie, you need to relax, that nigga gonna kill you. But anyways, like I feel like love is just as dangerous as someone that's having schizophrenia or having dementia or not being able to remember anything. It's just I see where they're trying to go with this. Love itself is not the mental illness,
It's what it
but
creates.
love can drive people to have some type of mental illness.